broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Good afternoon, all of you Days of Our Lives fans. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV's Spotlight On. As you guys know, we here at Dish and Days loves to bring back some of your favorite past cast members of Days of Our Lives, and this one is no exception. You guys remember him as Austin Reed. We have joining us live via Skype from his home. We have Austin Peck. How are you, Austin?
I'm well. How are you?
Doing great. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Now, just to forewarn you guys who are watching live, Austin is on daddy patrol, so if at any point in time he has to step away, it's because he has daddy duties to attend to as well.
To the baby.
Look at it. The new addition. Oh. Congratulations. She's a beauty.
Yeah.
And what is her name?
Morgan.
Ooh, nice strong name.
Right?
Like that.
All right, so let's go right into it. Now, Austin, of course, we are very familiar with you from Days of Our Lives as Austin Reed, and you spent many, many years there. Was it difficult for you to step into the role of Austin Reed following Patrick Muldoon?
Well, it's one of those things in the beginning I hated to talk about. I mean, I've been asked that question a lot over the years. Originally, yeah, it was. It was because he was. I mean, I had never watched Days of Our Lives before I was on it, and when I heard that the character's name was Austin, which at the time wasn't a common name. Now a lot of kids are named that. Yeah. I was like, oh gosh, if I don't get this, I really got to be super bad. And fortunately, I was bad, but not that bad. It was because
it's the baby. She wants her time on screen.
That's right.
Okay, yeah, this is a little retarded. I did not plan this today.
You can't help when it's feeding time. Listen, I'm at my age when it's feeding time. I get the same way.
Like anyway, yeah, it was. This is so weird. Gosh,
I love it.
I don't have a boob, but
you're doing the best you can.
Yes, you can.
That's what I want. Yeah, well, because he was, when I got on the show, I realized how popular he was. Mm-hmm. So it was very difficult for me, and the only acting I'd done was in classes and little plays and TV commercials. Mm-hmm. So to go from that to jumping into a major storyline 4 or 5 days a week for months. It was tough because it was a gauntlet. Yeah, and it was really trial by fire.
Yeah.
Did you have any mentors when you first came on? Anybody take you in from the cast?
Christy Clark.
Oh yeah, Christy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what she would do is because there's a lot of different aspects of daytime where the art comes from. Mm-hmm. It's assembly line. Really what it is. And you technically, there's a lot of technical aspects to working on camera, especially daytime, like hitting your mark and your lighting, because they light the sets and you have your key light. So she would, as in the middle of a scene, she would just kind of pull me into my light, or push me underneath the camera with her hand, just kind of nudge me in the right place. And she would do it effortlessly. And there'd be times I'd be like, "What are you doing?" Right in the middle of the scene. But, yeah, I think Christy Clark probably saved my job in the beginning.
Hey.
More than I know.
Wow. Well, you guys had, amazing chemistry on the show, and I think a lot of fans always rooted for Austin and Carrie. If you had your pick would Austin have been with Carrie or Sammy? Don't make that face.
We see the face. We see the face.
Well, I mean, there was so many like back and forth. You were with Carrie, you were with Sammy. You had some other flings, but
in all truth and fairness, if you pick Sammy now, Carrie now, I mean, it'd be a tougher struggle. But at the time, I mean,
Carrie was the one.
I am not a politically correct person, and I'm not far from. In fact, I kind of say it how it is because
we love it.
Politically correct. Oh no, they were both fantastic. Yeah. No, I mean, I just clicked a lot easier with Christy.
Yeah,
and that was the couple that made sense to me.
Yeah,
and at the time, Sammy was just a kid.
Yeah.
I'm a 25-year-old strapping buck. I mean, I want to. And Allie was like, she was a teenager.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
So I mean, this, and Christy's a young woman. I mean, it's really to me, there's really not much of a choice, woman or a girl. Allie now is a woman. She's a beautiful woman. And I think now it would be much more of a struggle. Back then, it wasn't. It's like, okay, little girl or woman.
That's a great. Actually, that's a great point.
That's a really great point.
Yeah, it is.
Was it now on days? Of course, with Sammy and Carrie, there was always this love triangle that was going on. Was there ever a moment when you went to set and had to just stop and think, okay, wait, who am I in love with right now?
No.
Because
I'm not. It's working on daytime is a very political job.
Yes.
It's a very political job, and that's why you have really bad actors on daytime that are on there for years. In all truth, when I first started the show, my instincts were really good.
Mm-hmm.
My muscle to at doing it was very weak. Learning my lines and knowing all the technical stuff, and I mean, I think over time I got better. But also, I treated Days of Our Lives for me very much like an acting training ground. So I would try different things. I went through different where I really wanted to do a low voice. I really treated it like an acting class. Yeah. So I would work with a coach, and we would just go and try different things, and people would be like, it was just weird. Yeah. So, and I wasn't, to be honest, I was a real pain in the ass. I mean, it really was. I mean, one time I got so frustrated because I wasn't prepared for a series of scenes, and I was overwhelmed, and the crew, they're there for hours, and they were just like, ugh. Yeah. So it's taking too long. And I got so mad that I just challenged the whole crew to a fight.
Dang.
So, I mean, you do stupid stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you look back at it, and it's one of those things, those memories that you look back in your life and you go, oh my gosh, I can't believe I was such an asshole. So, you learn a lot. And daytime is a political job more than anything else.
Yeah.
Youth. Hey, youth. We were all different when we were younger, weren't we?
Exactly.
I'm sure.
But I know also going into that, like as an actor, going into a role like this and suddenly having to memorize all this dialogue and get it right away. I mean, I'm sure that's very, very challenging for someone. So
it was for me. I mean, it really was. And so every soap, like the difference between As the World Turns and Days of Our Lives was night and day.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It was really night and day. It was a totally different experience.
Do you think it attributes?
So one show kind of like if you remember Passions, imagine being an actor working on that show and not really understanding what you have to do in order to make it work for yourself. Yeah. Some shows are much more melodramatic and over the top, and some shows are much more set in reality and character driven, and some more plot driven, even though all of them are basically plot driven. Some are more character, some are more plot. So understanding that is a big part of the process. Working on daytime. I mean, like, remember James Franco came on General Hospital.
Yes,
I'm sorry, he wasn't any good.
Yeah, right.
He wasn't any good. And I'm a big fan of James Franco.
Yeah,
I mean, I really am, but he wasn't any good.
Yeah.
He was okay.
Right.
But he's a really phenomenal talent.
Yeah.
But it goes to show you that, daytime is a really, really tough genre to work in and to make it work, because it's really designed to defeat you as an actor. It's really designed to make you bad, and then when you have actors that know those traps, and you can turn away from them, and you can try to you fight the good fight. That's you have really solid actors on daytime because of that.
Yeah.
Now, in As the World Turns, you played a recast there too. You played Brad Snyder. I loved you on that soap, actually.
But there was 3 actors that played him in
before.
1 year.
Yeah, I
And that
know.
was 8 years prior, so it wasn't an established character by anyone. So in a lot of ways, I was a brand new character.
Yeah. You did a great job on there, actually. I loved you as Brad.
I had fun. I really.
I wish
had
you could
fun.
last it
Plus,
longer.
I mean, I wouldn't if I wasn't. I would never.
A lot of good things happened to you on As the World Turns. We'll talk about that later, of course.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, that's some good stuff. But on Days, you had the storyline going on with Sammy and Lucas and Carrie, but you also had a storyline with your sister Billy and your mother Kate. That was kind of concurrent also, because you were taken from them, taken from her as a baby, Curtis and all that. How was it with Lauren Koslow and...
Oh my gosh! Well, Lauren Koslow is literally just one of the coolest people on the planet.
Yeah.
I didn't really get to know Lisa Rinna very well. She was very cool.
Oh, really?
Then there was oh my gosh,
Krista Allen?
Krista Allen.
Yeah.
Krista Allen and I, we bonded very good.
Yeah.
Krista Allen was very, very much like a sister.
Oh,
So I bonded with her really well. And then, of course, Julie Pinson.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's one of my. Julie Pinson's fantastic.
Yeah.
She's a fantastic actor, and I thought Krista Allen was fantastic.
I thought Krista's performance was
really
great
good.
also.
Krista
Yeah.
Allen really committed to a lot of stuff, and she didn't get the recognition that she really deserved. And the same goes for Julie Pinson. They kind of put her in a little bit of a corner, but I thought that working with her on As the World Turns was amazing.
Oh, that's why she was Janet, right, on As the World Turns?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Which was there?
Me well.
Yeah.
I can see
Oh,
you.
okay.
We can see you.
We see you perfectly.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we're like just mysterious voices to you on the other end. But on Days, what was did you have a favorite storyline during your time on Days that you really enjoyed and felt like?
Yeah, I
really
did.
related to?
I did have a favorite storyline. I think there was a couple of them. One when I was on the run with Sammy and we were in that cave with
Yeah.
oh gosh, what was her name? My goodness, I'm not very good with names. Maybe because I always say I'm not very good with names.
I think who's you were with. I'm blanking out.
She was a film. She was anyway the crazy woman in the cave, and I was on the run. It was snowing outside.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was really fun. And I got to do the boxing storyline. That was really
Oh,
fun.
yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
That's right.
My least favorite was the virtual reality storyline. I don't know if anybody
right.
remembers that.
I do
but it was the
remember
most
that.
embarrassing thing I've ever done in my life.
I think I actually
Because,
don't remember that. That might have been prior to when I started
Yeah,
watching.
because wasn't it James E. Riley who was running at the time?
No, that was when Tom Langen took over.
Oh, Tom Langen. That's right. Okay, yes. Mm-hmm.
In hindsight, James Riley wrote some really out there stuff.
Yes.
But
yes.
he really knew how to capture the audience. He really knew how to give those cliffhangers that just made you want to key in the net. What's going to happen? What he did is he had these plots that were drawn out. Is Sammy going to break up Austin and Carrie? Is Lucas going to break up Austin and Carrie? The only thing that was difficult was just it was so repetitive.
Okay.
But and we did the same thing. So we would the arc was really long and drawn out. But there was a genius to it, because it was very simple as far as the characters were concerned, very simple as far as what you wanted to happen and what you were expecting to happen. Mm-hmm. And looking back on that was really fun.
Did you ever actually meet him or talk to him?
No,
You did?
you would get glimpses. He was like an enigma or a shadow. You would get glimpses of him in the hallway. Oh my gosh, James Ryan. You know what I mean? And he would smile, but he didn't want to meet you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
he didn't want to meet you. Oh God.
That's so funny.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I would say also. I'm gonna blink all of a sudden. I was like, you go.
James Lott Jr., you can't blink on
I
us.
know. I'm like, I'm looking at the baby. Look at the baby. I was looking at him. I'm looking at Tim.
got
No, it's
mesmerized by
totally
the baby.
distracting.
The baby. The father in me is like, oh my God, take care of the baby first. I'll ask you a question in a second. That's how I went blank all of a sudden. I was like looking at you doing the baby.
So, Austin, what did you decide to leave Days after? Like, what was the decision on leaving Days?
It was kind of made for me. I think a lot of it had to do with it's certain. Again, I'm not real political, so I didn't do much of positioning myself behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like my marks, say my lines type person.
Yeah.
And
Show up, do the work, go home.
I think I had some conflict with some people there because it was just stupid.
Yeah.
And when I left the first time, there was a changing of the guard with the producers, and I just think that it really didn't see the sign and really kind of position myself in a good way.
Yeah.
And then because Christy Clark left, they figured, well, Christy's there, what's the point of Austin?
Yeah.
Christy's up there. So I think they just, let it go.
Yeah.
And then when I came back, I was off for a while, came back.
Right, came back.
That was... for me, that was kind of redemption. I was able to redeem myself. But the way they wrote the character back, they kind of wrote it into a corner. Yeah. And that, getting off the second time really had to do with, again, being connected to Carrie. And it was a lot of political, economic stuff that it was, it was very different from the first time.
So one thing about your story, not know what I was going to say, not because you get the baby under control. The one thing I wanted to say to you is that your storyline was so different from me, most triangles, because when he did the whole Mike Horton storyline, Mike, Carrie, and Austin were all good guys. It was one of the few times where I saw where it was like all three of them are good people. There really wasn't like a bad, the villain of the group. It was like Carrie was torn between two good guys because you were helping Sammy, and she kind of fell with Mike. It was like you guys were all good guys.
I hated that. I hate that I didn't take care of Carrie. I mean, how can I not take care of Carrie?
Hello.
She's a hot chick,
Hello.
And I really basically just pushed her right into the arms of Mike. And Brooke Critchlow, he was so cool. He was a really cool cat. They kind of with that storyline, I thought that was really good because a lot of people started wanting Carrie and Mike together.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
That really bugged me.
I will be sorry.
I was really jealous, so it really bugged me.
I'll be sorry to say, Austin, I was kind of one of those people that was kind of rooting for Carrie and Mike.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I saw like I was like, oh, they look really good together. But then, in the same site,
how could you not when I'm how could you not when I'm not taking care of my wife and I'm paying all this attention to this other woman? I mean, yeah, of course.
And I was, of course, like, go ahead, Sammy, get your man. Like, So I was all for it.
But I was always on your side. I always wanted you and Carrie together. I always did.
I was a flip flopper. I went back and forth. So I was one of those fans
that makes good triangles.
No, it does. Actually, that's a soap staple. It does make good triangles.
My wife loves to point out that one time we were going to see one of the Twilight movies, and so before it started, girls started to say, Jacob, Edward, but then I guess some Days fans were there, and all of a sudden they started going, Austin!
So funny.
So yeah, it's like that. Any good triangles, are always fun.
Yeah.
Now you also had some brief flirtations. Speaking of virtual reality and stuff with Greta. Remember Greta?
I thought Greta was a good fit for us.
I thought so too. She was great, and then a little bit of Nicole too for a little bit.
Oh, poor Nicole.
Never really let that. I really liked Nicole a lot. Ari was fun to work with. We were able to play a lot, flirt a lot, but they never allowed that to develop. I don't know why.
I know.
Well, it's in true Days classic form that like they give us a tease of maybe this is gonna. No, we're gonna pull back from it.
Yeah. So, I don't know why. I really don't know why.
I thought it would bug Sammy and Carrie to have you with Nicole.
But see, that's why it would have been good.
Yes, exactly.
Because I mean, in truth, Austin as a character was a pretty good guy.
Yeah,
exactly.
Was a good guy. And he wasn't. I really tried to hold on because I really tried to hold on to his nads. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really tried to hold on to his nads, and he would stick it to Carey in such a way. And I thought that Austin, when I played him, had a, I tried really hard just to cover him up. Put my, you're not cutting him off. It wasn't easy, but I think that guy, he was a really, really good guy without being a total pushover, and he really could tell you where to stick it when it mattered. And so I tried to put as much of myself in him as I could.
Yeah.
It was fun. I mean, I would love to play Austin again. It's a great job. Doing daytime is the best. I think it's the best acting job you can have. I really do. It's the best acting job you can have. I really would love to do it again. But I would love Austin. I mean, maybe make him he's just so bitter. He's bitter. Just
so
he comes back and he's like, I'm tired of being a good guy, but underneath he's a good guy.
Yeah.
But outward he's just like this turned kind of cutthroat. You know what I mean? But then underneath he's like, he does good things, but he doesn't want people to know it because he doesn't want to be stepped on anymore.
Yeah.
Well, Tony is good at writing people back into soaps. So.
Yes, I have been trying to write myself onto Days for quite some time now, and so I have some storylines that I'm trying to push forward. So we'll talk, and we'll maybe Austin can come back, and I can be like an assistant to Austin, and we both kind of do bad things.
Okay, check it. So listen. So Austin comes back because he's a businessman. So let's say he comes back, he's even more successful than before, right? Gives a run with Victor Carey, not Victor Carey, Victor Kirios and
Stefano?
Joe Mascolo. God, I always know Stefano, right? Yeah. So he becomes an adversary to them, and you are like my right hand dude. Yeah, right. You're like my right hand dude. You're always there, and go do this and go do that. You remember? What was his name? Me and my names.
Was it Bart that you're thinking of? That was Stefano's right hand man.
Vivian.
Oh, Vivian and Yvonne. And Yvonne. Yeah.
Vivian. Awesome. Yvonne Guevara was what a funny dude. He was great.
Oh, really?
And I remember him talking to me. I'm like, dude, all you do is suck up to Vivian. All you do is suck up to Vivian. Anything Vivian does. And we were laughing about it. I said, what do you do? He goes, and he's got he's Czechoslovakian.
Right.
He's like, I don't know if I could do that. But he's like, you know what I do? And he goes, I just make it like I want to fuck her so bad. I just want her so bad. I'll do anything for her just to have her one time. And I was like, that's genius. That is genius. So.
And then if I do that, right, like if he comes back and I'm like his right hand man and I'm kind of doing stuff and we kind of work with Stefano or Victor or whoever, then it can go along with my storyline that I discover that my mom is Maxine, who is a nurse on the show, and it all ties in together.
There you go. Got it.
Hashtag
now, because you got to have a family member. Once you have a family member, you kind of, it's a lot more, your job is a little bit more secure.
Yeah. you gotta have a connection. You gotta have a connection in Salem in order to have longevity.
Yes, exactly. You're multitasking right now. I love it.
I am. I'm coming over here. It's a little cooler.
Look at that background.
Yeah, that's that's beautiful out there.
Are you in upstate New York?
No, I'm actually in northern New Jersey.
Oh wow! Okay, it's beautiful back there.
It's really nice. So what did you take away from your experience and time on Days, that led you into your next phase of As the World Turns?
Well, I learned the craft of as much as I could, of acting, again, it was a little, I learned how to decipher a lot of information and be able to work it for myself, and I took a lot of the mystery of acting away from me by working on the show, technical stuff. Yeah. So then when I came on to As the World Turns, which, As the World Turns, is a really solid acting. Their production value was very low.
Wow.
I think that's what killed it.
Yeah.
But the actors were so good.
I agree.
Yeah.
And the whole time while I was on Days, I did a lot of theater in LA, which no one sees. And when I started to work on As the World Turns, I just fit right in.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people on As World Turns were a little surprised by that, because I came in with a very, very, very strong point of view about my character, about who I was. And I was blessed with this symbiotic relationship between me and the writers. So I would do something, and they would write something for me, and I would take it, have fun with it. And it became this unsaid back and forth thing. And I really was able to create, you know, which for me was a very real, live character that had an arc.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of theater folks in New York, of course. A lot of the actors do theater at night on the weekends, right?
Yeah.
A lot of the actors.
Theater, musical theater.
Yeah.
You know, most of the actors on the show either came directly from the theater, or while they were doing it, did theater.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you had like Kathleen Widows, you had Catherine Hayes.
Right.
You know,
They could sing, they could dance. You know, they were like, you know, double, triple threats.
Yeah, Martha Byrne, who I love.
Yeah.
Love me some Lily. On Days, was there anybody you wish you could have worked with in a storyline?
You know what? I would have loved to work with Joe Muscola.
Okay.
See, everyone wants to work with
Yeah, they
Stefano.
work with him. Yeah.
And I would have loved to work more with Drake.
Oh, yeah.
And because Drake is just, he's just a funny dude. You know, he's just and he's one of the most professional people I've ever met.
Wow.
He's incredibly professional, and he's just a really solid, good dude. He's funny. He's really funny. Yeah, I mean, outside of them, I mean, I got to work with the people I wanted to work with.
You get to work with a lot of people, so yeah, you were good.
So when you went on to As the World Turns, I saw that you had more love triangles
Yes. Yes, you did.
on that show. And then were you surprised or shocked when they decided to kill off the character? Because I always wonder how that works. Like, do you just walk in one day and they go, "Oh, here's your script. By the way, you're being killed off." Like,
it was a surprise to me, but the show's demise was like writing on the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just coming. Everybody saw it.
yeah,
They Procter and Gamble wasn't really giving us the money, and it was just phasing out. It couldn't compete production wise.
Yeah.
Just couldn't compete.
yeah,
And that's what made it just difficult. So when they said that they wanted to do something, killing Brad, you know, it was a really popular character on the show.
I know.
Was kind of like a way to shock
people.
people, and then bring him back as a ghost. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, because you were part of the Snyder clan, which those of you people who remember on As the World Turns, that's a big clan on there.
Yeah.
And you were Jack's
You
brother.
want to see something funny? You want to see something funny?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check this out. That's the Snyder kitchen table.
Oh my God,
really?
it is! I recognize it. Oh my God, it's so weird. Oh, how'd you get it?
I mean, they were like, you know, basically giving away the furniture. We're like, we want that. We had Brad and Katie's couch up until like 6 months ago.
Oh my God. I'm like thinking about the Snyder Thanksgivings. I'm already thinking about that already. Look at that table.
Oh, this table. I mean, how many people have made out on this table?
Every Snyder on earth is made on their table. That's so funny.
right.
Oh my God.
That has to be the best parting gift from a show that I have seen.
A table.
Thus
Isn't that
far.
great?
That is.
It's a piece. It's falling apart. It's a great table. It's huge. But it's falling apart.
I just have to ask you because I love her so much, Maura West. How's it? Did you work with her at all? You did a little bit.
Yeah, I got to work with her.
Yeah. So any thoughts?
She's a savvy chick.
Yeah. She's on General Hospital now.
Yeah, she's savvy.
Yeah, that's good. I love that.
Savvy.
Oh my God, so great. And on As the World Turns, you made a connection off camera too, didn't we?
Yeah.
With the equally talented. Back then she was Terry Kahn or Columbo. I can't remember what her last name was at the time, but it's Terry.
Columbino.
Yeah,
Well, she was Con, then Columbino, and
Yeah.
now she's
Great
back
actress.
to Con. Professionally, she's Con again, and personally.
Okay. But she was a great actress. I loved her character.
Oh yeah,
And you
she's
guys were great
fantastic.
together. So you guys got together.
Yeah,
That's great.
yeah. It was quite the scandal.
But it's such a great thing. You have these beautiful children. And so what was it like working with her?
Working with Terry is like the best acting experience. I mean, we had so much fun. We had so much fun. She was just such. Terry is, I would come to work and I would just say really enthusiastically, "Good morning, sunshine,"
Aww.
because that's what she was. That's what she is. She's sunshine. And we, when I came into the job, she had been on there for a long time, she really was in a lull. And I came on with this, I was new, so I was fresh energy. I was excited, and she was just all ears and open to trying things and playing. So we really just played, and we would come to work and play, and we just got to know each other, and as friends. I mean, really, as friends, we had immediate chemistry, but it was 100% professional, and it was 100% friendship.
Yeah.
And we just got to know each other in a way that really kind of surprised the heck out of me and both of us.
Yeah.
And but she was really, she was so much fun because she's funny. She's funny, and I love humor. I'm more, to me, I'm more drawn to comedy than anything else. And so, and As World Turns allowed you to be funny.
Yes, I mean, there's some funny scenes on there. Are you an actor who likes to rehearse with your scene partners, or are you like, just get on when the lights come on?
No, I like to run lines. I'll rehearse, I'll run lines. To me, I like to be, if someone else doesn't want to, I'm like, okay, I could do it either way.
Okay.
But we usually, because of the way daytime is, most actors on daytime will run the lines with you.
Oh, okay.
Run the lines with you.
I know the pace started getting quicker and quicker as time went on. So now I know it's like nowadays you don't have like the hours to talk about it and block and all that kind of stuff. It's like boom.
Yeah.
Very good. And then you went on to One Life to Live.
Where you played a porn producer.
I like to think that he was less of a porn producer and more of a man of opportunity.
That is a nice way of putting it.
He was a porn producer with a heart, okay? And he ended up becoming a music producer. So the porn thing was just a stepping stone.
Right.
That wasn't really where he wanted to be. It was just like he was an opportunist. He was really ambitious.
It was like it was a gateway. Like, first you do, porn, and then, you dabble over into music. It kind of goes hand in hand.
Right. It worked for Kim Kardashian.
This is true. This is very true.
Now, I have to say, because I watched One Life to Live too, I liked your portrayal because it showed a different side of Austin Peck's acting. Mm-hmm. You were really different on that show.
Well, I'm a good actor.
Yes, you are. That's right. But what I liked about it was they showed.
I can be bad. I have been bad, but I have the wherewithal to be good.
Dude, he's a nice word. I liked on there because it showed other sides of you we didn't see in Brad or Austin. Your demeanor was different. The language was kind of different. I loved it.
Well, it's one thing that what I like is I like the challenge of daytime, especially, is because everything has a tendency, and I'll say tendency, to be very archaic.
Yeah.
And when they write someone who's bad, is that there's the tendency to play the obvious, which is
right.
And you play a porn producer, you're going to be really slimy and sleazy, and you're going to be this sticky person. And
pun intended.
I thought, well, I'm not going to play that guy. I'm going to play a human being that happens to be doing this, and I'm going to make it funny.
Yeah.
So it was a 3 to 4 day. I think it was like maybe at most originally going to be a 6-episode character.
Yeah.
And Frank Valentini, I was familiar with, and I said, you know what, maybe they're giving me an opportunity here to expand the part in time, So I just said, well, I can't do that if I come on and I just play this if I judge this character and I play a sleazy porn producer, that you're just like, ew. If I play this guy like he really believes his own doo-doo and he's just the ends justify the means, and he's like everybody loves Darth Vader, kind of thing. You give something likable to the guy, then they'll see possibility of redemption for the future and maybe connections with other people. And bring your heart into it, And then so I go, okay, well, let me do that, and it turned into 9 months of work.
I know you were good. Speaking of that, as Austin Peck, would you like Austin Reed? Would he be your friend, your buddy?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I like Austin Reed. Yeah, I think I connect Austin Reed. I think he's just he's better at being good than I am.
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, he's just better at being a good guy. He's a little bit more sound.
Okay.
More steady than I am.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit more. I don't know. I'm not. Edge is not necessarily. I guess you could say edge, but that's kind of kind of almost touting a horn. But I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
A little bit more edgy. I'm a little more rougher.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Out of the three characters that you've played on Daytime, Austin, Brad, and Rick, which one did you enjoy playing more?
Brad.
Brad?
Oh, okay.
Brad. Brad was just overall Brad was, to be honest, it was the funnest time I've ever had. My mother is an actress, so she made a living doing movies and TV, and never developed a name, but and I would call her up, and then she would and today was all this and that, and I said, look what I get to do tomorrow, and we would talk about how to approach it and things to have fun with and how to play. And it was like I always approached it with, okay, how am I going to play today?
Yeah.
And I did the same thing with Days of Our Lives. When I discovered that with Days of Our Lives, to me, the saving grace for me with Days of Our Lives is when I just discovered that Days of Our Lives was an alternate universe. Mm-hmm. And once I just said, oh, this is an alternate universe, and this is exactly how people are, and these situations happen, because in Days, there's tendency not to have the irony, the humor.
No, yeah.
No one's really introspective about the intensity of the things that are going on around them. Everyone's just like, they're oblivious, to the constancy of the melodrama. And I thought, well, you know what? This is like an alternate universe, like string theory. Like this exists, and in this world, this makes perfect sense.
Yeah. And
in that way, I was able to really have a lot of fun with Days of Our Lives. But with Brad and As the World Turns, it was less work in that way, and more like they gave me things that I could really sink my teeth in and have fun with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We have a lot of questions from fans who are tuning in live, and I want to thank you all for tuning in live with our interview with Austin Peck. One of the questions comes from Tracy and Daquan, who asked, what was it like working with Alison Sweeney?
Allie was, Allie, if you were to ask Allie that question, she would probably give you the most politically correct answer ever, because she's savvy that way. I'm not. Allie was a pain in the ass. But you know what? The truth is, I have the ultimate respect for Allie, because she's probably she's incredibly intelligent. She's super savvy. She knows what she's doing, and amazing businesswoman. In that way, I do. And acting wise, we went through a lot of ups and downs, and I gave her a hard time. I gave her a really hard time. I mean, she gave me initially because she read an article that was misquoted by some chick in some magazine before I started. So when I got on there, Allie was like 16 and just blew me off and was really mean to me because she thought that I was like telling Patrick, take a hike and it's my part now and kiss my butt. So she was like, well, I'm going to show him. So she just completely was like, you're a jerk, and ignored me. And I was like, whoa, what happened? But then she warmed up to me and we had a really good time. But then we had some drama because I was getting in a whole method time. It was my it was like, like Picasso's blue era. It was like my method era. Yeah. And so I would take it too serious, at times. And I think I really was mean to her.
Oh my God.
And I feel bad for that. And so it created a lot of turmoil with us. So it's not her fault. You know, it's my fault too.
Yeah.
But you know, I think that instead of just answering the politically correct question, which it was great, she's amazing. It was wonderful. It's boring. I'm giving you more of the truth.
Well, listen, we love and appreciate the fact that you are being really real and honest with us, because we would expect nothing less.
That's right. What's up?
So we also have a question from Sarah, who asks, "Would you ever guest star on a primetime show, and what show would you like to be on?"
Oh, dude, primetime? Forget it. It's so passe. Well, I have done primetime shows.
Yes, you have.
And you know what show would I love to do? Well, gosh, it's Game of Thrones.
Okay.
It's fantastic. I mean, it's like X-rated. It's like X-rated Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
But I think or have you ever seen the BBC show? I think they're doing another one. Sherlock Holmes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, any of them. I mean, really, any of them. I would love to do an action one. I like being physical, so I've yet to be able to show that. Anything where I get to punch people.
You did an episode of. We had another person who did an episode too. You did an episode of Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember any of that? Do you remember Mr. John Hart?
I get residuals for that for like 3 cents.
Hey, 3 cents.
That goes in someone's piggy. It goes in Morgan's piggy bank.
Better than a poke in the eye.
Exactly.
This is true. We also have a question from Gail, who asks, out of all the matriarchs on the show, who taught you the most and who was your fave?
Ooh.
Oh, gosh.
The matriarchs.
Yeah. And I had to stare at that word a little while so I can make sure I pronounce it correctly.
I would say as far as who taught me the most, I can't really answer who taught me the most because I learned from everybody.
Yeah.
I would say, but who really protected me the most was probably Christy Clark.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you get a chance to talk to Erica Slezak when you were on Live to Live? Speaking of matriarchs.
Yeah, a couple times.
Yeah, a couple times. Yeah, love her.
She's classy, class act.
Yay.
I didn't get to know her, but the moments that I got to, be in her presence, she was just a really classy woman.
Legend. She's a legend.
Yeah.
Were you ever asked to, because as you know, Days is celebrating their 50th, and there's about to be a rumble in Salem that's happening. But have you ever been asked to return back to Days?
No.
Would you ever go back?
Oh yeah.
Would you want to play?
I mean, again, I'll just say I think working on daytime is the best job in Hollywood.
Yeah.
I mean, really, truly, it is. I mean, because you get a level of fame, but no one really cares about your life.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So
okay.
people will recognize you, and it's kind of fun because people will acknowledge you for what you do, even if they call you your character name. But for me, I never knew that.
That's funny.
Great,
Yeah.
And so there's a level of recognition, but outside of that, no one cares about your personal life.
Yeah.
Like you don't have anyone messing with you, and no one cares. So you make a phenomenal living doing what you love.
Yeah. Would you ever want to return back as Austin, or would you want to be a completely
I would return.
different
I mean, if I had my way, I would return as Austin, but I'd like to be a little bit more autonomous.
Yeah.
And then see what happens while I was there.
Yeah.
Because I like to play as an actor, and I like to have fun with the other actors, and with that, I think it always creates opportunity. And when you create opportunity, you never know what's going to happen. And hopefully, as a writer sees something, they see a connection, they see a chemistry, then they can start moving towards that, or come as a different character.
Yeah.
But in all truth, I always knew they were going to bring Patrick back.
Yeah.
And they brought him back, yeah.
I always
Yeah.
knew that. It's just a shame how it didn't work out, and how they, wrote it in and didn't work out. But
Yeah.
again, it's a very political,
Well,
system.
I think it goes without saying, because back when you were playing Austin, you guys won. You and Christy won a Soap Opera Digest Award. As
Hottest
the
couple.
Yeah. So I mean, I would have to say that says a lot about what you did as the character. So put that in your pipe and smoke.
That's right, kids.
That's right.
Are there any other mediums you would like to tackle? You've been a well-recognized face in daytime, and you've done some primetime things. Is there any other thing that you would like to explore, acting-wise, or just career-wise?
I did a play in New York about 4 years ago, and I'd love to do another play.
Yeah.
That was an amazing experience. Doing theater, I did a lot of theater in LA, like I said before, and doing theater in New York is really an entirely different experience. It's still theater, but the way, the way it's seen and respected, and it's not the same.
No, different.
And the way it's treated, it's not the same. So I think doing more theater, and I would like to play. I think I'm more, to be perfectly honest, and again, this could sound, again, like touting my own horn, but it's not that. That I'm more of a character actor. I really do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I sit well with people that are kind of further away from me and playing and doing things that are a little bit more off the cuff. That's why the Brad was a character. It was a lot like me, but Brad was a character. Austin was a character, without a doubt, and so was Rick.
Right.
They were all characters, and so there was an aspect of me, just like anybody, a character actor brings themselves to. But I think I like to play a bad guy.
Ooh,
Yeah,
okay.
see, I'm with you on that, because I would love to play a bad guy. I think because in real life I'm such a good guy. I mean, not to toot my own horn, but to I just want to be that bad evil guy.
You are.
Yeah.
I mean, I could just tell by your voice. Oh, hi, hon.
Hi.
Hi. Oh my God.
She's probably like, oh my gosh, what's happening?
I love you, Karen. I love you. I love you, Terry. I love you.
Hi, little
cutie.
cuteness.
Oh, hi, cutie.
Look at that. And you have a baby that's completely knocked out. She's fine. And you have this adorable one.
With a bow in her hair.
She's cute. I want a sucker too. Can I have one?
Yeah, this is tiny person.
That's how you present.
Are you tiny person?
Yes. Aww.
For 2 seconds, she had a look on her face like, what is going on, Daddy? What are you doing?
Oh, and there's
hi, Kathy.
hi, Kathy.
Hi. Hi.
Hi, Kathy.
How are you guys?
You guys are getting it all. He was crying. I'm like, hold the bottle. Hey, someone sent us diapers. Isn't that nice?
Oh, that's so funny. That's great. You can always use them.
Right. So for you Days fans who are watching, this is real life. So
is real
welcome
life.
to Austin, real life.
That's
It's
right.
not this is reality. This is not scripted. Another scripted about this, people.
That's right.
So we have one more question from Tracy, who wanted to know, did you ever get a chance to work with John Aniston?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did. I mean, it was like, in certain scenes, few scenes here and there, party scenes, yeah.
Now, Austin, I don't know if you may or may not remember this, but we actually met once many years ago.
Was I a jerk? Was I okay? Was I cool?
No, you were good. This story is a good one. You attended a fan event in Greenfield, South Carolina.
Oh yeah.
And I was there, and a friend of mine was there as well. And she stood up during the Q&A, and she asked you, what advice would you give to actors? And I remember you said, go into the audition not needing the job. And I've actually held that that piece of advice since you said it. And so I try to go into my auditions, the few that I have, not feeling like I need, I need to pay my rent or I need to make that check, but I just going into play. What advice have you received from someone that had an impact on you?
God, there's a lot. Probably some of the best advice is educate yourself, read. The more educated you are, the more you read, more literate you are, you have more to talk about, have other things going on in your life, become a student of life. And I'd like to think that I am.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah,
I think that's good advice.
The more you know.
The more you know.
I feel like in that moment the stars should have went over.
The more you know. It is a public service announcement.
Well, Austin, we are starting to run out of time, and I don't want to take up too much more of your time. As
You're being really adorable right now. The fans are loving this.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And Morgan is like, I'm not having this anymore.
There's Grandma. Sweaty arm.
That's Grandma. Oh, thanks, Grandma.
Well, I will let you know, Austin, that a lot of the fans have said hello and that you have a beautiful family, and they have definitely enjoyed you coming on and talking to us. And we definitely appreciate. Hi there.
Hi, cutie. Hi, cutie pie. I love those teeth. I love it.
She's like, where are these voices coming from?
Terry says you have a great voice.
Why, thank you.
Oh, was it me?
Wait, is
voice?
Who? Which one of us?
It's probably
both of you.
Both of us.
I would almost give it to James because I always call him the Quiet Storm because he sounds like one of those like 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. voices on the radio.
Like Austin Peck.
Oh yeah,
Austin Peck. That's right. Thank you.
Very white.
Yeah.
Well, tell Terry I love her anyway, so I love her.
I have a daytime voice.
You do
it's like, hello, good morning, wake up, get your day started, and also here's some gossip. Well, Austin, again, thank you so much for joining us here at AfterBuzz TV in celebration of Day's 50th. We love taking a trip back to memory lane.
Days of our lives.
Yeah. Well, and thank you, fans, for tuning in. And we guys will see you this coming Sunday. We have a whole lot of people coming in. We have Chandler Massey, who was ex-Will Horton, coming in at 4 p.m. And, of course, our usual recap at 5 p.m. We will see you this Sunday for Dish and Days.
Where can we find you on Twitter?
Oh, I'm sorry. I totally forgot about all that. Austin, tell everyone where they can find you on Twitter.
Oh, Austin Red 5.
And James
Red 5 to anybody. Does anybody know that? You get that?
I got it.
Red
Star Wars.
Five.
I got it. Black Hope LA, BLAKHOPELA on Twitter.
And of course, you guys can find me on all social media platforms at Lounging with Tony or my website, loungingwithtony.com. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see you this Sunday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for Dish and Days.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only, do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.